Hey guys, Mona Lisa here, and I'm going to be reacting to Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 3. I'm really enjoying this show a lot more than I thought I would, considering it's similar to like period show. I woke up in the night with this idea, not idea, but like I suppose theory, which is just random. I think the Queen, when she came to see Caitlyn about Bran, she was saying that she had a dark-haired son. And I think that's Rob and her son, so heir to the throne. And I think the Lannisters killed that son. And Joffrey, I think, is the twins' son. And they want him to rule because there's like a pure Lannister bloodline, if that makes any sense. Whether I'm right or wrong, please don't tell me. That's just like a theory I have, but it makes sense to me that that family is so twisted. That's something they would want. That being said, let's get started.
Welcome, Lord Stark. Grand Maester Pycelle has called a meeting of the small council. The honour of your presence is requested. If you'd like to change into something more appropriate.
What do you think? I keep thinking of Boromir. I should stop doing that.
Thank the gods you're here, Stark. About time we had some stern northern leadership.
Must be strange for you, coming into this room. I was standing right here when it happened. It was very brave, your brother, and your father too. He didn't deserve to die like that. Nobody deserves to die like that.
You just stood there and watched.
500 men just stood there and watched.
So he had another brother apart from Benjen.
When I watched the Mad King die, I remembered him laughing as your father burned. It felt like justice.
Is that what you tell yourself at night? That you were avenging my father when you shoved your sword in Aerys Targaryen's back?
So Jaime's killed the Targaryen's king, and the former right hand.
Ow, please, it's nearly healed.
Oh, you bitch.
It's ugly.
A king should have scars. You fought off a direwolf.
I didn't fight off anything. It bit me, and all I did was scream. And the two Stark and the sword, both of them.
Aerys Targaryen sat on the Iron Throne. Your father was a rebel and a traitor.
She's such a bitch.
We allow the Northerners too much power. They consider themselves our equals. Why should every lord command his own men? It's primitive. We should have a standing army of men loyal to the crown.
And these 10,000 Northern troops, would they fight for you or their lord?
For me, I'm their king.
Mm-hmm. You've just invaded their homeland, asked them to kill their brothers.
I'm not asking.
The North cannot be held. Not by an outsider. It's too big and too wild.
The Starks are enemies.
Everyone who isn't us is an enemy.
So they're plotting something. They're plotting to get rid of the Starks. I can really see her become quite a little, well, not little, but like warrior. I mean, she's got the hang of the archery, doesn't she?
Whose sword is that?
Mine.
Give it to me. Where did you get this?
Don't take it from her.
Little lady shouldn't play with swords.
I wasn't playing. And I don't want to be a lady. It's called Needle.
A blade with a name. You know the first thing about sword fighting?
Sticking with the pointy end.
That's the essence of it.
That's what Jon told her, wasn't it?
Sansa will be married to Joffrey someday. She cannot betray him. She must take his side, even when he's wrong.
But how can you let her marry someone like that?
We've come to a dangerous place. We cannot fight a war amongst ourselves.
I can keep it.
Try not to stab your sister with it. If you're going to own a sword, you better know how to use it.
Oh, I thought he was going to take it off her.
In that darkness, the White Walkers came for the first time. They swept through cities and kingdoms, riding their dead horses, hunting with their packs of pale spiders, big as hounds.
What?
What are you telling him now?
Only what the little lord wants to hear.
Oh, it's just a story. I can't say like huge spiders, like what the hell?
You still don't remember anything? You never fall.
I did, though. It's true, isn't it? What Maester Lewin says about my legs.
So he's paralysed then.
Welcome to King's Landing, Lady Stark. Would you mind following us?
I would. We've done nothing wrong.
Oh, is that Ned who's...
You little worm! You take me for some back alley Sally.
No one will come looking for you here. Isn't that what you wanted?
How did you know I was coming?
My little birds are everywhere, even in the north.
So it's like traitors. Traitors.
There's only one dagger like this in all of the Seven Kingdoms. It's mine.
Yours?
At least it was. I lost this dagger.
To whom?
Tyrion Lannister.
Ah, fuck. Is he involved in that then? Did he send them to kill Bran then?
Well, Lord Snow, it appears you're the least useless person here.
A raven came for Ned Stark's son.
Good news or bad?
Both.
I'm confused with Tyrion because I thought he was sort of breaking away from his family, and now it looks like he's the one who's behind like the attempted assassination of Bran. Unless they're setting him up.
Perhaps you'd like to share it with your wife.
Oh, unless he's lying, this one.
My wife is in Winterfell.
Is she?
You're a funny man. Huh? A very funny man.
Ned!
Ah, the Starks. Quick tempers, slow minds.
What you looking at, half-man? And what do you care about our face?
I think they would look marvellous decorating spikes in King's Landing. Perhaps I'll write to my sister, the Queen, about it.
That's one way to deal with bullies.
Everybody knew what this place was, and no one told me. No one but you. My father knew, and he left me to rot at the wall all the same.
Peter has promised to help us find the truth. He's like a little brother to me, Ned. He would never betray my trust.
What has the boy told them?
Nothing. He said nothing. He remembers nothing. He tells his father what he saw.
We'll say he was lying. I think we can outfox a 10-year-old.
And my husband.
I'll go to war with him if I have to. The war for Cersei's cunt.
Oh, fucking hell.
I can't do anything without proof.
And if you find the proof?
Then I'd bring it to Robert. And hope he's still the man I once knew.
Surrounded by Lannisters.
I was going to say,
Every
I mean,
time
is
I
he not the
close
last
my
person
eyes,
you
I
want to
see their blonde hair
have
and
outside
their
your door to
smug,
defend you?
satisfied faces. What about Aerys Targaryen? What did the Mad King say when you stabbed him in the back?
He said the same thing he'd been saying for hours. Burn them all.
Was Jaime working for Targaryen king and killed him and was ordered to burn Ned's brother and dad?
You want the entire horde to stop? For how long?
Until I command them otherwise.
You're learning to talk like a queen.
Not a queen. A Khaleesi.
Yeah, she's definitely sort of grown into her own, hasn't she?
You dare! You give commands to me.
To me. You do not command the dragon. I am Lord of the Seven Kingdoms. I don't take orders from savages or their sluts.
Did he just call his sister a slut?
Mormont! Kill these Dothraki dogs!
Shall we return to the Khalasar, Khaleesi?
Yeah, know your place, you little bitch. So that's kind of backfired on him, hasn't he? That he wanted his sister to marry Drogo to get power, and he wanted his army. But she's sort of in control now, isn't she? And he's a nobody. Well, it sounds like Kate doesn't want him around, because when they had their dinner, he was left outside. She didn't want him in there. So I wonder if that's got something to do with him being there now.
I'm leaving this morning.
You're leaving? I'm ready. I won't let you down.
You're no ranger, Jon.
But I'm better than every other.
Better than no one. A man gets what he earns. When he earns it.
So he's got to prove himself. How he's going to prove himself when he's stuck in there?
Is that what we are, Lannister? An army of jesters in black.
We don't have enough men to be an army, and aside from Jorah here, none of you are particularly funny. I have great admiration for the Night's Watch. I have great admiration for you as First Ranger.
You know, my brother once told me that nothing someone says before the word but really counts.
But
that's true.
I don't believe
that's actually
that
true.
giants and ghouls and white walkers are lurking beyond the wall.
I wonder if then Benjen was done something and they've sent him up there. That's like a punishment or something, or whether he chose.
He's starting to like me.
I cannot work him out. I don't know if he's there to spy on them
recruits
or
from their dungeons.
whether he actually has an interest in.
I could use some decent company.
What are you doing?
Oh, hello.
When was last time you bleed, Khaleesi? You change, Khaleesi.
Ah, fuck, is she pregnant?
Majinjano! Anareti Sanjani.
I don't think she wants to be dog.
The Khaleesi have baby inside her. She does not want to eat horse.
I'll have the boys butcher a goat for supper.
So she's pregnant. Drogo is not going to have an interest in anything that that Viserys wants, is he?
How many winters have you seen, Lord Tyrion?
8, no, 9.
All of them brief?
Well, they say the winter of my birth was 3 years long, Maester.
We've been capturing wildlings. More every month. They're fleeing south. The ones who flee.
So winter is not a normal thing then?
We can't properly patrol the wilderness. We've barely enough resources to keep our lads armed and fed.
Your sister sits by the side of the king. Tell her we need help.
When winter
She's
does
not gonna
come,
care, is she?
God's help us all if we're not ready.
I'm telling you, those eggs are gonna come to life. Like in Harry Potter.
Merak.
Kufino seyanese.
Anna. Sekenesa.
She's definitely changed him, because look at the way he's holding her. He would not have done that when they first met, because he's more like animal than, not animal, it sounds harsh, but no respect for a woman, I suppose, and I think she's changing him.
Will you stop at Winterfell on your way south?
I expect I will.
If you see my brother Bran, tell him I miss him.
Of course. If you're going to be a cripple, it's better to be a rich cripple.
You are late, boy. Tomorrow you will be here at midday. Your dancing master, Sirio Forel.
So her dad's arranged
is not the
training
way,
for her then.
You are not holding a battle axe, you are holding...
A needle.
Just so.
It's like a Mr. Miyagi session, isn't it? I think her story is probably the one I'm most interested in, because she's got quite attitude, and yeah, I think she's gonna be something. Yeah, it's definitely him, isn't it?
Very dead.
Alright, so that was Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 3. It was a bit of a slow episode, I think, but I think you sort of getting a lot of information. So it's like a building episode, if that makes sense. I mean, there was quite a lot of things happening, though, even though nothing was happening, if that makes sense. The impression I'm getting is King Rob, he's lazy and he doesn't do anything but sleep with women and spend money. So yeah, useless, I think. That's the impression I'm getting. I might be wrong, but don't tell me if I am. Please don't tell me. Caitlin, Caitlin, Kate, that's what I'm going to call her. She's gone to the King, what was the capital, with the knife that they tried to assassinate Bran with, and it turns out that dagger or knife, dagger is what it is, isn't it, belongs to Tyrion. So now I really don't know what to think. I thought Tyrion was sort of breaking away from the Lannisters, but if that's his dagger, then I don't know whether that was taken from him and he's being set up, or whether he is in on the assassination. I hope he's not, because I really like him. So yeah, I hope he's being set up, if anything. The Queen and Joffrey. It's kind of interesting, I think, because it seems like Joffrey, I can't work him out. He's not agreeing with her. It seems like he's got a bit of a mind of his own, but she's moulding him into what she wants. When I think they're plotting to kill the king, they must be, and she's moulding him into the king that she wants. She wants to be like the puppet master, if that makes sense, and yeah, she wants to be pulling the strings of his empire, I suppose, if I'm reading that right. He doesn't want to marry Sansa, but it seems like he's forced into it because, yeah, I mean, they're going to have kids, and yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit confused with that. So, but I suppose it's going to be clearer as we go along. And Jaime, that one is confusing me a bit, because it sounds like he was working for the Mad King, which was the Targaryen king, and he was told to burn the Starks, who I suppose, I don't know whether, no, I can't work it out, but from what it sounded like, Jaime was around when Ned's dad and another brother were murdered or burnt, and he has something to do with that. Yeah, I think. I can't, yeah, I'm a bit confused. Jon has been sent up to the wall, which sounds like he was tricked up there, and they didn't want him around because he was a bastard child. I might be getting that completely wrong, but if I have, don't tell me. It might be something important later on. But it seems to me that from when they had their dinner, when the king came, Caitlin didn't want him at the dinner. He was sent outside, so I think they've got rid of him, haven't they? They've sent him up there. They can't kill him, but they're getting rid of him, and he's up there now. So he's out of their faces, which yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I thought Ned was a bit better than that, and his brother as well, Benjen. I thought there was more to him than, you know, tricking him to go up there. Again, I might be wrong, but that's how it's coming across, that they've sent him up there to get rid of him, get him out of the way, and that sucks, because I quite like Jon. He's quite a noble character, and I think he feels like he has to be, because he's a bastard child, and he has to prove himself more than if he was pure blood, I suppose. I'm getting a bit confused with this winter-summer thing. I thought winter-summer, it's the same as ours, but it looks like it's not. That, like, it sounded like summer lasted for years and years, and winter comes around every now and then. Also, and lasts for some years. I didn't quite get that, but I'm sure it will be clearer to me as we go along. Daenerys, I'm liking her. It looks like she's becoming more of a stronger woman, which I quite like, and it looks like, just from the few scenes that we've seen, that Drogo is respecting her more. I mean, from how we saw him when we first were introduced to him, he was a bit more animal or beast, or not. No, that sounds wrong. I know what I'm thinking in my head, but it's hard to explain sometimes. She's tamed him a bit more. He's got a bit more respect for her. I mean, I don't think when we saw him he would be cuddling her, which he is now, and so she's gaining respect, and she's becoming a more important character to him. And now that she's pregnant with what they think is a son, that's going to be interesting, because I think Viserys wanted her to marry him, to marry Drogo, to get his army. But I think now they're starting their own family. That's just not going to happen. I don't think. Yeah, I think they're going to have their own sort of kingdom. And Viserys, I think, is screwed, which I hope he is, because I do not like him. He's a little bit of a brat, just like Joffrey. Yeah, I think I've been talking quite a lot. So the last thing, I've been asked to do a top 3 and bottom 3, and yeah, my top 1 is Arya. I quite like her. I don't know, she kind of reminds me of myself. I was a bit of a tomboy and what have you as well, and I'm quite interested to see what she's going to be growing into. I could imagine she's going to become quite the warrior, and yeah, I'm quite interested to see that storyline. Jon Snow, I think he's quite a noble guy. He's got morals, and yeah, I quite like him. I think he's going to be quite an important character as well. I hope he's going to, yeah, come out of what the situation he's been put into well. Tyrion, I'm liking, but now I'm just really confused. I think he's quite funny, and I'm still hoping that he is breaking away from his family, the Lannisters, and he's going to be sort of become an ally with Jon. That's what I'm hoping. But now with the whole Dagger situation, I'm getting a bit confused now, so I don't know where he's standing. And my bottom ones, number 1 is the Queen. I do not like her whatsoever. She's manipulative, and I think she's plotting to kill her husband to get her son, who I think is... Sorry, there's fireworks going on outside. Yeah, I think she's plotting to kill her husband, and then I think her son, Joffrey, is her and her twin brother's son. If I'm right or wrong, whatever, don't let me know, please. I need to work this out myself, and it could potentially, whatever you put down, could be spoiler, which is going to ruin my reaction. So yeah, I do not like her whatsoever. I don't trust her. I hate her. And Joffrey, yeah, he is my number 2 bottom. I do not like him. He's it's all about him, isn't it? I think he's a coward. There's nothing man about him whatsoever. He's not a warrior. He's a nobody. But unfortunately, he's got the title as well. He's a prince, isn't he? So he could become quite dangerous, because it doesn't sound like from the conversation he had with his mom that it's all about power as nothing else, and that's quite dangerous if he's got nothing else going for him. Viserys is my 3rd. I still don't like him. It was between him and Jaime, but at least Jaime, I think, is quite honest about what. He's honest at least, so he's got that. So that's why he's not my number 3 from the bottom. It is Viserys. Do not like him whatsoever. I think he was calling his sister a slut. So I hope his whole plan of getting Drogo and his warriors on his side to fight the Baratheons, I hope that's going to backfire. Well, it sounds like it is, and I hope that's what's going to happen. Anyway, I've been talking far too long, so if you like this as much as I did, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you in my next reaction.